Okay, but before I propose you the exercise we're gonna work together in this session, I I would like to ask you this question, and think about it. I will send you now the Google Doc we're gonna use, and you can use the doc in order to answer, and then we're gonna discuss a bit together, and then we're gonna do the exercise. And the question is this one. Uh, which is your main difficulty in interpretation? Gui already told me, but you can write it anyway, Gui. Um, so just take a few seconds to think about, and then you can write. Let me send you the link. Okay, you can write your answer in the doc. Don't forget to put your name first, and then you put the answer.
Sorry, Andrea, could you repeat the question?
Yes, which is your main difficulty in interpretation when you interpret something? Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, let me know when you finish. Okay. Can you raise your virtual hand once you've finished? So I know. Okay, I see some. Okay, real hands is okay anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, seems everybody. Okay, nice. All right, so let's gonna have like a little introductive discussion about the difficulties, and then we're gonna work with the exercise. So I would go by following the order I see in the doc. So Adam, you're the first one. Okay, so can you read your difficulty, and then we're gonna try to discuss a bit about that.
I wrote down making sense of obscure metaphors.
Okay, that's your main difficulty in the interpretation. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any idea to explain why you have such a difficulty, or why this difficulty is bigger than others?
I think it's a limit of my imagination.
Okay.
I struggle to understand, to connect the dots when the metaphors are too broad or too vague.
So could you explain how does it work? I mean, you have a lack of imagination, and therefore you have a hard time to explain obscure metaphors. Could you explain or make explicit this connection?
I think so I think understanding metaphors requires you to connect concepts which are usually not connected so well. And imagination is precisely an ability to make these new connections between concepts. And I think I'm struggling there a little bit.
Okay. Okay. Just for fun, who see a problem in the explanation of Adam? Okay, first, everybody understood the explanation? Okay. So, Younes, I see you're shaking your hands like that, right? Okay. Could you say what is obscure in the Adam metaphor, if it is a metaphor? What did you understand?
I wasn't following his explanation. That's why I said I don't understand.
Okay, so you were thinking to something else.
Yes.
Okay, just for fun, does it happen often to you, or is the first time you lose your concentration?
It happens a lot of times.
Okay, so you keep disconnecting, right?
Yes, I have ADHD.
Okay,
but I use medicine, but sometimes I
okay, okay,
just
so
go.
okay, that's why I mean, it happened often to you, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I propose, Adam, could you repeat what you said for Younes?
So I was trying to explain the connection between the problem with making sense of obscure metaphors and lack of imagination. And my idea was that making sense of obscure metaphors requires you to make connections between concepts which don't usually co-occur. So metaphors usually use a juxtaposition of concepts which are not usually connected so much. And imagination is this ability to make these new connections between concepts which don't usually occur together.
Okay, is that clear now, Younes?
Yes.
You have any problem you see, or you have any question to ask Adam?
No.
Okay, what about the others? No one? Rui, Alexander, Mihaela? Okay, Mihaela, you have something?
So it seems to me that in Adam's conception about imagination,
Yeah.
He has to reveal the meaning of the concepts. So he works as an essentialist. He has to dig into some meaning, and his imagination fails to reveal some meaning. Me, on the other side, I would say that this imagination is namely the ability to create some new meaning that, I don't know, you have from your resources. You do not have to make connections between some concepts and reveal the meaning of those concepts and fail there. You simply create it yourself.
Okay.
Am I clear?
So, Mihaela, therefore, you see a problem in what Adam said already, yes?
Yes, something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you try to name this problem?
How do I call it? Essentialist?
Okay. So, Adam is an essentialist. Yeah. He thinks there is an essence to reveal instead
The
of
concept.
creating a meaning. That's your idea, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go back to Adam. Adam, did you understand first the Mihaela comment?
Yes.
Okay. Does it make sense or no?
I disagree.
Okay, but first, stop a bit. You can disagree even if the comment of Mihaela makes sense already.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, so it makes sense. Okay, so that's okay. And why do you reject the comment? Why you disagree?
So I think when I talk about making connections between concepts, I don't necessarily mean finding some essentialist meaning which is already there. I think making connections between concepts is perfectly compatible with creating new meaning.
Okay, so basically you are saying that Mihaela didn't understand what you said, or she did understand?
I don't know. I think she. I don't know.
Okay, but
I think she understood. She understood, but
she
I think
understood. But you still see a problem in what she said.
yes.
Which problem do you see?
I would call it confusion.
Okay, explain why confusion.
Because I agree with her point that imagination is about creating new meaning, and it's not about discovering meaning necessarily. But I think my idea of making connections between concepts is not really related to the distinction between discovering and creating meaning.
Okay, so if it's not related, means that there is her comment is irrelated. There is a problem of
Relevance, maybe.
irrelevance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So now to the group, who agrees with Adam that the Mihaela comments was relevant? Raise his hand. Okay. Mihaela too. Yeah. You change your mind. Okay. Younes, are you following? Yeah.
Yes.
So you don't think that Mihaela comment was irrelevant, right?
No.
Okay. What do you think about Mihaela comment?
I think there is like miscommunication.
Miscommunication. Okay, they are not understanding each other basically.
Yes.
Why? Explain why.
Because you could make when you imagine something, you could make connections. It's part of imagining something, but you don't have to. You can also come with things yourself. So I don't see there is a problem.
Okay, but you agree that it's different, that to say that there is no problem and to say that they are not understanding each other.
Yes, I think they are coming from yes, there is a they don't understand each other.
Okay, and why do you say that they don't understand each other?
Because making connections, as Adam said,
Yeah.
to other concepts, even though it's obscure for him,
Yes.
he sees it as a that's the thing that you can do, so you can imagine things. But it's not only what Mihaela said. You don't have to do it. You can also imagine things without making connection. So it's both possible. Imagining something is making connection, but you also don't have to make connection between concepts.
Okay, and if you don't make connection between concepts, what do you do?
You could come up with things yourself.
Okay, but you agree, if you come up with things you do by yourself, you still need to connect those things to the metaphor, for example.
Yeah, yes, of course.
Okay, so and Adam seems to accept that point of Mihaela comment. Remember?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yes, I see.
So you still think that they don't understand each other, or you change your mind?
I changed my mind.
Okay, and do you agree with Adam? Or no? No.
Yes.
Remember, he said that it was irrelevant.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Just for fun, Mihaela, why did you change your mind?
I liked Adam's explanation that creating meaning and discovering meaning in the concepts is perfectly compatible. Whereas me, for example, what deluded me was when I read his comment, making sense of obscure metaphors. So it suddenly appeared to me like he's trying to discover something. This is what
okay, so Mihaela, I propose to you, beside the relevance that Adam pointed out, that you interpreted the Adam comment. You put something that it wasn't there. You stretch it too much. What he wrote. You saw the essence, but it wasn't implying specific the essence of something.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, but Adam, okay, Adam, what you want to say?
I think I need some clarification.
Yes, go ahead.
So I'm actually not sure if Mihaela overinterpreted my comment. I think making sense of metaphors is actually about discovering meaning, because when I try to interpret a metaphor, I assume that there is some kind of meaning in it.
Okay, so she is not first. What she said is not irrelevant. If it's about understanding metaphor.
I still think maybe her initial objection was irrelevant, but I don't think the problem is overinterpretation of
Okay,
my
explain
theory.
why. Explain why, Adam.
So I think imagination can be both creating new meaning and discovering connections between metaphors. It can be
Okay.
used to both purposes.
Yeah. Okay. But do you remember what the overinterpretation is?
Mm. Yeah, overinterpretation is when you find more ideas or more meaning in something which is actually not there.
Okay.
You project.
Okay. As I think you have been told already, the interpretation as a is a mixture of two dimensions. One, the objectivity and subjectivity. And in overinterpretation, the subject put a bit of, I mean, too much subjectivity in the interpretation. So it's a bit stretched. So he's putting something there which is not there anyway, somehow. Okay. So now that it's clear that the definition of our interpretation for everybody. Yeah. Okay. What do you think? When she accused you to be essentialist, do you think she was putting something wasn't there, so it was a bit too much, so overinterpretation, or do you think it was there?
I think it wasn't there, so she overinterpreted it.
Okay, you change your mind then.
Yes.
Okay, but do you agree if it is an overinterpretation, it means it implies that is not irrelevant. There is some relation, but the relation is a bit too subjective.
But now, are we talking about relevance to what I wrote, or what
Yes.
or my explanation of the connection between what I wrote and what I said?
About what you wrote.
Yes, that's not irrelevant.
Okay, so you change your mind, yeah?
No, because initially Mihaela was not commenting on what I wrote. She was commenting on my explanation of how what I wrote relates to
Okay.
my lack of imagination.
Okay, but do you see that? Okay, it makes sense. Yes, but so do you see in general that overinterpretation is excluding the irrelevance in general?
Sorry, didn't understand.
The overinterpretation excludes the irrelevance problem.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I think okay. And somebody else I see, for example, that more than once wrote overinterpretation, by the way. So we spot one apparently. So Gui, Yasvin, Sven as well. Okay. So let's start from Yasvin. Yasvin, you tend to give overinterpretation, right? So you put too much yourself in the interpretation, yeah?
Yes, in fact, I don't know the limits, the boundaries that I have to observe. So I put more subjective elements into my interpretation.
Okay, so you go a bit far away from the text or from the object. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So anybody has some let's say tip or advice to Yasvin or to Sven as well, and to, let me see again, to Gui as well. Yeah. In order to be more tied to the text, let's say. Alexander, you have some advice to Yasvin in order to avoid a bit some strategy maybe you use or you can think in order to avoid the interpretation?
Maybe to look when you go through the paragraph or written submission to maybe identify very clearly the words or part of the sentence that justify or link with your idea, and to double check that.
Okay. Yasmin, do you think makes sense what Alexander has just proposed to you?
It makes sense. So I need to check whether what I'm interpreting, whether there are elements in the text in terms of ideas or concepts that
exactly.
supports that interpretation.
Yeah, I think it's a good strategy, it's a good method, what Alexander told you. And I use it, by the way. When I do some interpretation, I just pick the part of the text I think is shows what I'm trying to say about the text. And sometimes also I do underline some keywords, let's say, that can be related with my interpretation. So in that way, I make sure that there is some objective sign related to my interpretation. Yeah. Okay.
So this helps you to be within certain boundaries, that you don't go beyond your subjectivity.
Good. Very good. Yes, exactly. So in that way, you can help yourself to stay more tight to the object, not to go too far away. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. Thanks, Alexander, for the advice. And okay, Sven, I don't know. Are you there? You can speak, or you cannot.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening.
Okay. Do you have yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, maybe I can. That advice does help me, but maybe I can describe what I think is the root of the problem, and maybe somebody has advice for that as well.
Yeah, go ahead. Why not? Yes.
So I think I overinterpret because I can't see other interpretations. I often see one interpretation for the text, and then I sort of get stuck with my first interpretation, and I can't really see another one. So then I'm desperate. So I add things that aren't there, or maybe I'm not patient enough.
Okay, so impatience is the main reason why you go for overinterpretation, then, Sven.
Yeah.
Okay, so you go. I mean, you go desperate just because you see just one. You are looking for more, and then you create some more interpretation, but they are a bit far away from the text.
Yes.
Okay, but are you impatient? I don't remember you as impatient this summer. Are you impatient? Patient?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of what else it could be, because usually I'm not really impatient. So I'm trying to think of what the real reason could be.
You don't think you are that much impatient, let's say?
No.
Okay, so what hypothesis you could give to explain why you go straight away to the overinterpretation?
I don't know.
Okay, the group can help us, Sven, to find a new hypothesis to explain this phenomenon he just described. First, everybody understood what Sven said about his relation with the overinterpretation. Yes? Yes? Okay, it seems so. Okay, Yasmin.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Sven could look at what he does in the interpretation. He looks at it from different paradigms. So that could help him to explore different perspectives.
Okay, but do you notice, Yasmin, that in your advice you have an explanation to explain why he cannot or he just go straight away to the over-interpretation? Did you notice or no?
Yes.
Okay, so
I'm not
say-
too sure.
yeah, don't worry. Say it straight. Don't be Sven is a nice guy. He's not like he's not gonna mad about that. Okay. Just say it.
Yeah. I think imagination is like an abyss. So when you dig inside, you go and go, but then there's some lack of awareness.
Lack of awareness.
Yes.
Okay, because I was thinking something different, but it could be lacking awareness. Because from what you said before, that you proposed the idea that it's easier to interpret, to give different interpretation if you look at the same things from different perspectives.
Different paradigms. Right? Yes.
Different paradigms. Yes. So I thought that you wanted to imply that Sven is a bit stuck in one paradigm. You see?
But yes, you're right in some sense. But when I look at his what he wrote, adding too much my ideas and imagination to the text, so that's why I was thinking that maybe he's exploring his imagination too much. So it's like digging and digging. So maybe he lost awareness of the boundaries by doing so.
Okay, so he cannot limit he is himself in a way.
Yes.
Go beyond the boundaries too much.
Yes.
So yeah, he has a problem with limits then.
Yes.
Okay.
I have the same problem. That's why I can understand.
Don't worry, Yasmin. Here problem are nice. I know that in life problem are shitty, but here problem are nice because they make us to think. You know,
think, yeah.
And we want to think. So the problem is fine. If you say you are a problem, the guy or the girl should be happy about that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's check. Sven, is that true that you have a problem with limit?
It doesn't really resonate with me. I was quite interested in what Yashvin said in the beginning about maybe trying a different paradigm, because I think that's maybe more my issues, that I'm stuck in one paradigm and I don't try to see it from a completely different angle.
Okay, so you think the problem is not that you go beyond the limit, you cannot limit yourself, is that you are stuck, which is in a way is just the opposite. You are stuck. You cannot go beyond some limits of your paradigm. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you are in a prison then.
Yeah, I think I sort of bring the same worldview to everything.
Okay, so it makes sense. You see now the problem. So basically you are stuck in a kind of prison, which is your paradigm that is rigid, is always there, always the same. So at one point, in order to go out from the paradigm, you just escape the paradigm. You go far away. You create the over-interpretation. You use your imagination in order to escape. Too much.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. So you see, Yasmin, I mean, by spotting some problem, now Sven is more aware and she's happy.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, nice. And just for fun, Gui, you wrote that you have the same problem with I mean, you have kind of problem with over-interpretation, right?
Yes.
Okay, did you recognize in what in some hypotheses we just managed to find out about the interpretation? Oh no.
Yes, I relate to the point that Yasmin made about I'm stuck in a paradigm that I get so bogged down in just seeing it from one angle, the story.
Okay, so you're in a prison just like Sven.
Yes.
You're prisoners. You're prisoner of yourself. Your way to think.
Yes.
Okay. By the way, That I think one meaning of the Plato's cave myth, you know, the Plato's cave myth.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that the philosopher go out from the cave. In a way, the cave could be one way to think that you cannot switch off. It could be your paradigm, that is the only paradigm you are in.
Yes.
Okay, so you are prisoner in the cave of your paradigm.
Yes. That's
Okay, okay, nice, nice. Okay, but I saw Younes, I think, raise his hand before, right? Yes, Younes.
Yes, I have a question about what Sven and Gui also said. Is it also possible that if you are not familiar with a subject, that you then you stick to one interpretation because you don't know too much or a lot about the subject, the text, or the whatever it is, a video or something?
Okay, you wanna ask this question to Gui?
Yes,
or
both
Sven?
of them, Gui and Sven.
Okay, so let's hear the answer. Gui, do you have any idea?
Yeah, the last story in the homework about love by Sati was a story that I had trouble with understanding it, and so it made me also insecure. What am I gonna do with it? So I just tried to like stick to an angle because I didn't really know how to approach it in different ways.
Okay, so your answer is yes, right?
Yes.
Okay, I agree with you, Gui. I mean, Younes, in a way, in order to give some interpretation, first, you're supposed to understand at least the basic sense of the story or the text. So if you don't understand, of course, it's gonna be more difficult to do some interpretation job there. Yeah. So yes, Sven, what do you think? Do you agree with Gui?
Sorry. Yeah, maybe it's not about understanding or knowing the topic. It could also just be about it relating to it, or it being interesting, like it's sparking your mind, you know. Because I found I was quite successful in the Sadi, the second story about love. Maybe because it's a topic that I'm preoccupied with. Whereas the first story, the Nasruddin Hoja story, for some reason it didn't spark my thinking that much, and so my interpretation, I made much more sort of, I was more likely to overinterpret because I was less inspired by the story.
Okay, okay, I understood. Now you're proposing another idea, which is interesting, that if you resonate not that much, it's gonna be more difficult, right? So, wait. Is that right?
That's it.
Okay,
That's it.
but okay, it makes sense. I agree with you, especially if you need to be. I mean, if you are stuck in one paradigm and you need to, if you resonate with something, is easier to interpret, give some interpretation. But let's go back to the question, the Younes question. You think if you don't understand, or you have hard time to understand some text, it's gonna be difficult to interpret it or no?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So basically, we have here now two problems we are speaking about: when you don't understand a text and you need to interpret it, and when you don't resonate with the text. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, Younes, are you fine with your two answers you got?
Yes, I find it interesting about what Gui said about the story about Saadi and Nasruddin, because I have an Islamic background, and I found it very easy to understand because I was a little bit familiar, but I didn't know. It is a good example that he gave. So if I read something I don't know,
Yes.
it makes it very difficult to interpret. I have to for example, look the words up or know the context and think, it makes it difficult. And
Okay.
also what Sven says about if it doesn't resonate, like if you're not really interested in it, it makes it difficult because you are not really interested in this story.
Yes, but let me propose you an idea that if you think you know or you know too much something, it could be difficult to find new interpretation. I tell you because I I teach in a school, and basically every year I teach the same stuff. Okay, so and now it's the 9th year that I'm teaching, and sometimes I observe that I tend to give the same interpretation every year. But so because I think I know already, so I don't have the the motivation to go to look for new interpretation. So even knowing now could be a problem in interpretation. Did you like this idea?
Yeah, I'm also a teacher, but I'm new. But I
You just start the teaching job, yeah?
sorry.
You just start the teaching job?
It's my 2nd year.
Okay. So
Yes.
okay. So you don't have already the problem to repeating all all the time.
No, it's all new, so it's
all new. Okay.
I'm still fresh.
Okay. So in 2 years, let me know if you have the same problem I have. Okay.
I hope not. I hope not.
Okay. But you know what? Sometimes I push myself to try just for fun and not to get bored. I force myself to give new interpretation. That I think is a good habit. So not in order to avoid to be stuck in one interpretation and to think that there is just one interpretation. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I think it's something good, but maybe we it's like the routine. If you do something,
Exactly.
then
Exactly.
you are not gonna make effort.
Exactly. That's the problem with habits. The habits are
Yeah.
in a way useful because they let you save energy and time. But at one point you just go brainless. You just keep repeating them and you don't think
Yes.
anymore. So
Yeah.
there is this kind of paradox that in teaching philosophy, you're supposed to think. But if you teach the same stuff every year, at one point you're not thinking anymore. You're just repeating.
Yes.
So I force myself to give new meaning, to give new interpretation. Yeah, but you don't have the same problem because it is your 2nd year.
Yes, but I can see what you mean when you are familiar with something. It's very difficult to take a step back.
Yes,
with the text of Nasruddin and with Sadi, then because it's not I know the text themselves, but I know like I can put some interpretations in from the like the context, for example, of
yeah,
the religion
exactly.
of Islam. So it's
And you
easier,
think
but
less.
yes,
I mean, the
but I
more
have to
you
take a
know,
step back.
exactly. The more you know, the less you think in a way.
Yeah, because it's easy.
Yes, exactly. And
It's comfortable to not to think.
yeah, that's an idea by Nietzsche, by the way, that about habits. That is, he wrote that the habits, that the thing you are used to, they are the most difficult to know about, because you think you know already, you take them for granted, and you don't think to them anymore. So in a way, they become beliefs, religions in your life. That's why I think it's useful, even if it, okay, you need to spend more energy, but it's useful to try to push you to look for new interpretation of the same stuff. Yes. So, but I think you're gonna, could use this tip in 2-3 years. So now you are fine like that, because many things are new for you now in the teaching job. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, nice. Let's finish this round and then let's start with the exercise. So let me see. Alex, the limits of my imagination. Okay, Alex, usually when you don't have enough imagination, which problem you contain your interpretation you propose or no? In general, let's say.
Sorry, Andrea, I didn't follow the question.
Yeah, when I mean, when you don't have enough imagination, which kind of interpretation you tend to propose? Let's say is you know, there is over interpretation, there are misinterpretation, there are interpretation that they could work, there are many, and then there are under interpretation. Which kind of interpretation you tend to give? Under, over, misinterpretation? When you don't have enough imagination.
I'm just thinking of the last assignment. I almost it was almost like my vocabulary was very limited. I had 2 answers, and that was as far as it could go. It was neither under or over. They were correct, but
Okay.
my mind felt limited. Yeah.
Okay. So you switch from under interpretation or over interpretation.
I was only able to I came up with 2 answers, and then I did a third, which was really a minor variation on one of those, because I just couldn't see any other perspectives.
Okay. So that's why you wrote that is a lack of imagination. Yeah, because you.
Yes.
Yeah. So you tend to be the opposite. On the contrary, than Gui, Yasvin, and Sven, you tend to be too tight to the text. You don't put enough subjectivity, enough imagination by you. Yes. Or no?
Well, hearing the conversation earlier with Adam and Mihaela was very interesting. After I wrote lack of imagination, I started to think whether it was lack of imagination, or I could actually flip it to almost its opposite and say lack of analytical rigor. Because yes. when you asked me to propose an answer, I proposed an answer, but I hadn't followed my own advice. And I think because the problem with imagination, it's a problem you can't solve, it feels. I can't will myself to have more imagination, but I can apply my mind more analytically. And there are things I could have done, I think, in the text to come up with new ideas.
Okay, but for now, do you think your problem in interpretation is more the lack of imagination, or is more the lack of analytic rigor?
I actually think it's the analytic rigor.
Okay, and do you see any hypothesis to explain why you lack in analytic rigor?
One that comes to mind in doing the exercise, I did it in a rush, so lack of devotion to doing it, so lack of effort may have.
Oh, you want to finish this exercise straight away, as soon as possible. Are you in a hurry? Yes.
For this, my tendency is yes, to leave it a bit late.
Okay, so if that's the reason, you know already what you're supposed to do in order not to give that kind of interpretation. What?
Well, dedicate more time.
Okay, take your time, Alexander. Take your time. Don't run. Are you a running guy? You run a lot? I mean, you're a rushing guy?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So I propose to you this idea, Alexander, that when you think, there is no time. The time disappears when you think. You contemplate and you go over the time. You like this idea?
can you? I think I only caught half of the idea. Sorry, Andre. Can you say it again?
Yes, I propose the idea that when you are thinking, there is no time.
Hmm.
You are beyond
Yeah.
time when you think. Yeah. Do you like it?
I like that idea.
Okay. You're stuck in a time machine, basically. You're stuck in the time. Yeah. You want to do many things together. There is greedy there as well. You see?
Yes.
Okay. So let's be less greedy and take your time. Enjoy thinking. That's the best advice I think I can give to you. Okay. To avoid that problem. Yes. Okay. So I think we dealt with. Oh no. Okay. There is still Mihaela. Mihaela, you there?
Yes.
Okay. Am I pronouncing correctly your name? I'm mispronouncing. Mihaela.
Well, as you,
Okay.
Mikhail,
Well means no. Well means no. Okay. Tell me how can I pronounce you correctly? Your name.
Mihaela.
Mihaela. It's better. I can improve it. Yes. Okay.
Are you Italian or French?
I'm Italian.
Italian. I think you have the version Michaela.
I'm Michaela.
Oh,
It's
I
better,
also like
Michaela?
that. Yeah, I like that.
Okay, nice. Okay, Michaela, can you read what you wrote, and then we're gonna start. We speak a bit, and then we're gonna start the exercise.
Confused interpretation, making unclear statements, and adding unnecessary details, which I can also link to my over-interpretation problem. Whenever I add these unnecessary details, I start to wander in my imagination and project my ideas on the other or the text.
Okay, so have you ever thought why you tend to add unnecessary elements or details?
I try to be more clear, give more details.
Okay. Yes, yeah, okay. You finished?
But then when you rush in being more clear and adding details, you do not consider the meaning of those additional elements that you introduce. And then it can get confusing.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I think it's a common problem. I saw it often, that when people, they try to be clear and they start adding elements, but paradoxically, by adding so many elements, they create confusion. Is that your case then? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, so I propose you the idea, I think you already heard about it, that less is more in the practice. So do less, and you're gonna be more clear. You do too much? Okay. Are you busy, girl? Are you a busy person?
Yes, I tend to rush.
Okay, so you tend to put too many things together. Okay, so you have a hard time choosing, right? Okay, so if you want to be clear, you have to pick what you want to say. Don't say everything, otherwise you create confusion. The other person cannot understand you because you give too many elements to the person. So for example, when I study, and I suggest this practice to my students as well, I think it's very worthy to pick the keywords. And many students, they want to keep too many words, and at the end they forget everything. So I think when you have to choose. Of course, choosing is difficult because you can be wrong, or you can I don't know. You have to renounce to something. But at the end, if you have some elements, they tend to be more clear than if you have too many elements. Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, now that we are a bit more aware about our difficulties of interpretation, let's try to deal with interpretation. And I will propose you a little story. It's a story, it happened to me a few days ago. I was driving the car, but I wrote down the story, and now I copy to you in the text. So you're supposed to read the story, and then to answer the question there is at the end of the story. No, this is the link. 1 sec. I go to. All right, where is it? Here. Okay, this is the short story. It happened to me a few days ago here, my city. And wait. And then you have the question to answer. So take let's say 2 minutes and write your answer after the question, after your name as well. Why are you laughing, Michael? Are you laughing at my story? Why? Find that funny? Yes?
That's a language barrier. I thought he gave you the middle.
No, the thumb. It was doing like that. Yeah? Not the middle finger, the thumb. You're frozen.
Andrea, can I
Sorry.
ask a clarifying question?
Yes, yes.
When you say middle-aged boy,
Yeah.
is this are you talking about maybe 15 years old or 16 years old?
No, like my age, like 35 or 30, like something like
Okay,
that.
okay.
Wait, what do you mean by middle-aged boy?
Because then I would say, sorry, I would say man then, because boy implies, under the age of 18, I think.
Okay. I think that is that because I see myself as a teenager, I guess. So maybe that's why. But middle age, like Dante was writing in the Divina Commedia, 35 years basically.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Yes. Middle life. Yes.
Okay.
So let me add 35, 30 years old. So just to make clear, Michaela, this boy or this guy didn't give me the middle finger, okay? He was giving me like that, yes.
No. Then I translated it. I understood that it was a
Okay.
good sign.
Okay.
Google is my friend.
Nice. Okay, seems okay. Adam is still writing, but have you done, Adam? Okay.
Yeah, I'm finished.
Okay, nice. So now I ask you to look at other people interpretation and to spot at least one problem. So go over the other's interpretation and try to name a problem and to explain why it is a problem. Yeah, don't forget to put your name in the, let's say, criticism before the criticism.
I have a criticism.
Okay, Gui, if you have a criticism, write it down.
Okay.
In the
Oh,
text.
yes.
Yeah, and maybe you could use a different color. Let's say a red color for the criticism, so we can distinguish well.
Mhm.
So yes, you are supposed to write down the criticism. Okay, give you 1 more minute, then we're gonna start. Okay, so who did find at least one problem? Raise his hand. Okay, Gui, Alexander, Sven, and Yasvin. Okay. Younes, you didn't find any. Okay.
No, I
What the,
find it difficult.
what's the problem to find problem?
I don't know. Maybe I don't, because I haven't followed everything. I am very busy with a lot of things. So sometimes it's, I don't get the theory, so I understand.
Okay, so you are busy with other things.
Yes, not now, but I mean, because I didn't read all the theory that we get from Laila, or I get.
Ah, okay, but okay, it seems to me that you are a bit too preoccupied with theory. I mean, I agree with you that theory it can help, but this is a practice. You can jump in the water, even if you don't know how to swim. Theoretically, you can try to do some movement in the water.
Yes, but you guys use jargon that I don't. I haven't used. I hear like
Okay,
over interpretation. You have to say before saying something. So
okay, I understand that, but you could spot some problem and you use your own speech, your own jargon.
okay.
So don't worry about the specific word. Then, of course, if you have a specific word, it's clear, it's better. But if you don't have it, you can use a metaphor, a clear metaphor, or you can use a kind of a sentence in order to explain the problem. Yeah.
Yes.
That you didn't find the problem. You were preoccupied with the language and with the specific terms.
No, there is one problem, I think.
Which one?
It's with GUI.
Oh, you see. Okay, so if you see the problem, write it down.
Okay.
Yes. Nice. Okay. I don't see any criticism from Michaela. Michaela, did you find any problem or no?
Yes, I'm trying to formulate it. And sorry, now in the document I deleted Younes.
Oh,
yes.
Wait, you were that one who made the self-sabotage.
I'm sorry, Younes. Please write it again.
Sorry, don't be
I'm
sorry.
sorry. I don't know what to do now. I have stopped. I don't know.
Okay, Younes, don't worry, don't panic. Don't panic. Okay. Michaela, so you wrote a sentence and then you delete it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you commit self-sabotage.
Wait, what do you mean? I just deleted now Younes' comment, not mine.
Oh, it's okay. I
okay,
put it on again. It's okay.
That's why Younes was panicking. Okay, now I understand. Yeah. Okay, but where is your comment, Michaela? Where yours? I don't see yours.
I'm trying to formulate it because sometimes I have a criticism, but I think that my criticism is an overinterpretation, not the person's.
Okay.
So I'm unsure.
Let's start from that. So try to say now which problem you see in which sentence, and then we're gonna help you to formulate it. Okay. So, which comment you found the problem? Which comment? Which interpretation?
Could you skip me for now?
Yes, I could. Yes, I could. But why you want to be skipped?
Because I think I will. I have to formulate it in my head first. Now I think I will just try it on the way, and it will be unclear.
Okay, just for fun. Then I will leave you, but just for fun, in order to think about what you said already. Do you know what does it mean that what you just said, that you want to be left alone to formulate it.
Yeah,
What does it mean?
that I have to think before I write.
Yes, but you could think with me and the group at the same time, no?
Mm, Yes.
Yeah, but you prefer thinking by yourself. Yeah. Okay, so you don't like dialogue, right?
I like dialogue when I have a position, a clear position. If I don't have a position, it's difficult to have a dialogue.
Okay, so you need to be alone to find your position.
Mhm.
Could you find your position in a dialogue too, or no?
Yes.
And why it's hard for you to find a position in a dialogue?
Yeah, one can also do it. Yeah.
Yes, but you just told me that it's difficult for you, right? It's easier to find a position by yourself, right?
Depends on the situation.
Yeah,
Right
but
now,
let's be here in this situation. This situation for you, it's easier to take the position by yourself. That's what you told me before, right? Or you changed your mind?
yeah.
Okay, just to try to understand why it's easier, or what, or if you prefer, why it's more difficult now to find a position in the dialogue with me and other people. What's the problem there?
The problem is that I don't want to waste other people's time by
Okay.
by saying something that is not relevant right now.
Okay, but you see that if you say something not relevant, you're not wasting any time. Apart of it, we said before with Alexander that in thinking there is no time, but it seems that you are you're in the time business. So if you make a mistake, you make us think. So it's not a wasting time. You agree? So do you agree that doesn't make much sense, that you don't want to waste our time, because we don't have time to waste here? I mean, if we think, we are not wasting time.
You're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have another explanation?
No, this was the explanation.
Okay, I propose you another explanation. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay, you need to prepare yourself before to do something. You need to prepare.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Right.
Okay. Okay. You see, if you want to keep going the practice, when you're gonna be like a philosopher to do this stuff with other people, it could be a problem. If you, in order to think or take a position, you need to take, let's say, your time, your space, be by yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. So I suggest you, now I can leave you alone, but try to practice this kind of thinking with someone in the dialogue, because that's what you are supposed to do after the course, you know.
Good point. Yeah, you caught it.
You want to try now or another time?
Now.
Nice. That's the spirit. Yes.
So
okay.
For example, let's take Yashvin. Why did the boy behave this way? Yashvin's answer: he was happy to be able to connect, resonate with you in view of having the same choice of car. I agree. I think it is a valid interpretation.
Okay.
But my criticism to it is that it is maybe a simplified interpretation or a under interpretation. He was happy to be able to connect. Yes, he was, because we can see the thumbs up. It's right. But it's like he doesn't give us any additional interpretation. This type of interpretation is very like on the surface.
Okay, he's not being very generous, you're saying.
Yes.
But you think is missing something, or is a self-sustained interpretation is enough? Or no, it's not enough. He should add something.
He is interpreting a thumbs up as a happy gesture.
Yes.
It is a self-sustained interpretation. I agree. It makes sense.
So wait, if it's self-sustained, it means that is complete interpretation. But still, you are saying that is superficial. Is complete but superficial, right?
I think, yeah, it's not telling me much. It's everyone understands that the guy was happy or positive. Yes, but
okay. So
why did the boy behave this way?
Okay, nice, Michaela. How would you name this such an interpretation?
Superficial, in a way.
Okay, do you agree that if the superficial, it means that the interpretation, even if it's acceptable, is not adding that much to the text? So it's a underinterpretation. It's not the fake risking. It's not going a bit far away.
Yeah.
Okay. See, it's being useful to take a position by dialing. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So get used to, because that's your job, by the way. Okay. Anyway, so you can write down underinterpretation then. Okay, so Yasmin, let's go back to you. First, did you understand the criticism by Michaela?
Yes.
Okay, do you agree with her?
Yes.
Okay, it's funny because before you were speaking about overinterpretation, and apparently now you gave an underinterpretation. How do you explain that?
I try not to go, beyond. I was trying to be quite slimy. If the word is right, I don't know.
Basically, you switch from an opposite to the other.
Yes.
Okay. Do you see that tendency in your life just for fun or no?
Sorry?
Just for fun. Do you see this very tendency to go from an opposite to the other in your life as well?
No.
Okay, so it's just an exception here.
Yeah, I was just forcing myself not to write too much, too confusing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. So basically, usually you go too far away. Now you've been too tied to the text.
Yeah.
You didn't risk that enough, in a way. You didn't.
Yes, I agree.
Okay. Yeah. So try to put something in order to give an interpretation which is not an underinterpretation. What could you add, for example, to the interpretation?
I would like to add the sense of approval that he felt.
Okay, wait, you have something already to add, Yasmin? So
yeah.
write it down. Add in writing.
I write it under. So do I use another color?
Wait, there was a misconnection. What did you say?
Yeah, I'm asking, should I write with another color?
No, you can use the same color. Yeah.
Okay. This function of Yeah.
Okay, but try to be a bit also more generous. Why do you think?
Yeah.
Why do you think? I will ask this a question to the entire group. So first you can answer, then we're gonna check other answers. Why do you think that when you see somebody with, let's say, the same car or the same something that you have already, there is satisfaction? How do you explain this phenomenon? Did you understand the question?
Yeah, I understand. It's like you see somebody similar to you, and it's like somebody approving you. So some kind of belongingness is there. You feel that
Okay, okay.
yeah,
So the satisfaction comes from the sense of belonging to
belongingness. Yeah.
like a group, like a very rare group of people with the same car.
Yes, yes. That uniqueness is there.
Okay, belonging. Okay, it's nice. Okay, you can add it, by the way. You can add it. And now we check other answer. Why there is satisfaction when you see something, someone who has the same stuff you have? Other hypothesis beside belonging. Okay, Yasmin, pick one.
Oh, okay, I'll go for the sense of belonging.
No, pick a person.
Pick a person. Okay.
There is Adam or Sven. You have a hard time with choice, Yasmin?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out which one I'm going to take. I was just engaged with what I was writing. So.
You were busy. Okay. I thought you'd finished. Okay, so just pick Adam or Sven.
Okay, let's take Adam, the first one.
Adam.
Yeah.
So it was already said, but I think another source of satisfaction could be simply the approval that you see that somebody made the same choice as you, makes you feel like somebody is actually approving of your choice. They're saying you made the right choice. And that's different from belonging, I think.
Okay. Could you explain the difference?
So I think belonging is about community. It's about being connected to something bigger than myself, whereas approval is just about just feeling more confident that I made the right judgment or decision, and I feel more confident because somebody else tells me, yes, you made the right decision.
Okay, nice, good. Yasmin, you agree, right? I think, yeah, you're shaking your hand.
Yeah, I think he explains the difference clearly.
Okay.
But I was thinking if the approval may not lead to some sense of belonging.
Okay, so
I don't know if I'm overinterpreting what Adam said.
Could you repeat the idea or approval?
Whether the approval of that he mentioned may not lead to a sense of belongingness.
Yeah, but you see, they both make sense. You agree? So they don't exclude each other. They both make sense. So you don't need to withdraw your hypothesis.
Yeah.
You see? Okay. There is not just answer. Okay. This is not dogmatism. This is a perspectivism, which is different. There is not one truth. There are many answers that can make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you accept the Adam hypothesis.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So before to go to Sven, Adam, you want to add something about this point?
Yeah, I agree with Yashvin's point that they can be connected and they are compatible, but I think they can also both exist without each other. So you can feel approval from someone. You can enjoy someone's approval without actually feeling like you belong to the same group with this person. I think.
Okay, yes, yes. So, indeed, I mean, when you are part of a group, you feel accepted from that group. So you feel approval in a way. Yeah. So, yeah, no?
No, that's not what I was trying to say. I said that sometimes I can enjoy someone's approval because maybe it makes me feel more confident in my judgment, but it doesn't make me feel, give me a sense of belonging. So for example, maybe approval from my teacher, when my teacher tells me, yes, good, that makes me feel good, but it doesn't make me feel like we belong with this teacher to the same group.
Okay, yes, I agree with you. But now, just for fun, could you make a connection between belonging and approval?
Yes.
Right.
So I think just when somebody approves of your choice, there is something you have in common with this person. And the thing that you have in common is that you both have the same opinion on this particular matter. And that simply, almost by definition, makes you somehow connected and you feel a sense of belonging.
Okay, nice, nice. This is, by the way, an idea by Plato that we can always connect ideas and we can always distinguish idea. So there is always something common, even from the opposite ideas, but the way opposite are related to each other somehow. In a way, even the same kind of idea, like synonymous, by the way, even if they mean the same thing, there is some slight difference between those. So it's a nice exercise, Adam, what you just done. Before you create you separate idea and then you put together. And by the way, it's called analysis and synthesis. They are the two movements. You separate and you put together. Okay, so nice. Okay, Sven was proposing something different or was the same, Sven?
It's the same, more or less, but I wanted to focus on the element of money, especially with a purchase like a car. Sometimes there's a certain insecurity that comes with a big decision like that. Did I make the right decision? Did I spend all of that money on the right car? And I think sometimes it's when you see more people buying that car, then you get calmed that, yes, I bought the right car.
Then I see an interesting presupposition in your interpretation. You see which one? Do you see which one?
Yeah, that there's some insecurity.
No, that I have a big car. I have a car who is worthy.
No, any car is even a small car is still a lot of it's an investment. It's not
okay. Now
buying a pair of jeans, you know.
Yes, now I get your point. So even like let's say not expensive car is still an investment, and when you see other cars like yours, you are reassured about your choice.
Reassurance, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
That's
nice.
the concept. Yeah.
Okay, so okay, there's a new concept. You see, Yasmin, we have three different explanations about that phenomenon. You see, how can we reach the interpretation without to go to over interpretation?
Yeah.
Okay, that's I think a nice example. Okay, so let's go back from your to your criticism. No, to your interpretation. Now, try to read all the interpretation together.
He was happy to be able to connect or resonate with you in view of having the same choice of car. And I say satisfaction or sense of belongingness of hope with seeing somebody with the same car.
Okay, could you try now, Yasmin, to put the diction in a way that is the same sentence, the same interpretation?
Yes.
So we have just one interpretation, coherent and complete. So then we can check with Michaela if now that you add this element is more generous, is not just is an acceptable interpretation. But be careful because Michaela is picky.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Just let me cut what you wrote, and I will put here.
Yeah.
So in this way, or we could also do it like this. Okay, in this way, we have all the interpretation together. Okay, Michaela, what do you think now? Do you think it's still an underinterpretation, or is acceptable, or you see some other problems?
No, I think it's better. He adds a new concept of belongingness, and it's already some interpretation, more generous.
Okay, good. So Yasmin, Michaela, criticism is being useful for you because you enrich your interpretation. Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Next
Thank
time,
you.
remember, try to be critic with yourself, so you can do by yourself. Okay,
Yes.
the exercise. Okay, nice. I will propose we check just the new one last problem, and then we finish with some comments about the session. So who want to propose a new problem? Okay, Adam, you're leaving. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you, bye. Okay, I see Gui. Gui, yeah, you want to propose a problem?
Yes, I just found it interesting that Alex was with the idea. He was charmed by your car and look and wanted you to stop to make friends. And so I would say it was an over-interpretation to assume that he wanted you to stop the car and start a friendship.
And why do you think it's an overinterpretation?
Because I would think, I don't know actually if he was also driving or not, but let's just assume he was not driving, he was just parked there.
I can tell you now, he was driving as well.
Okay. Yeah, so I would assume that usually a person driving a car wouldn't like be thinking about the stopping.
Like stop and let's go to take a tea together. Like we
yeah.
So it's a bit strange. It's a bit too far from.
Yeah. It's a stretch, but it would be very funny if it would happen.
Okay, let's say that it's possible, but it's not probable. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Nice. So Alexander, you proposed that idea, right?
Yes.
Okay, just for fun, where are you from, Alex?
South Africa.
In South Africa, is happen often that people that just when they see they have the same car, they go have a beer together.
Yeah, we connect. We're very friendly people like that.
Okay. Can I check with Sven? I know that Sven is from there. Sven is true.
Yeah, I look, on one side, people do appreciate people who have the same car. I see that, but to stop and make friends, I've never seen that.
Okay, so Alex, it's a bit too much also for a South African citizen like Sven. So how did you come out with that idea? It's interesting, by the way, but why did you think that?
Andrea, I was just there was a few things.
Yeah.
The first was, I know maybe it goes a little outside of the text, but it was obviously a moment of significance for you. And in the text, I imagined your eyes locking with this other driver. And there was because he was also a similar age to you, and there was a deep moment of recognition there. And then his reaction is not he doesn't just go,
yeah,
he starts to shout at you there very powerfully. And he was shouting, Andrea, stop.
Wait, I don't think he knew my name, by the way. It would be strange. I would be a bit preoccupied if he knew my name. I never saw before that guy. But okay, so you see that his behavior can make you think that he wanted to go a bit beyond than just to say, okay, you're great, you have the same car. He wanted something more than that.
I think he wanted to connect, and maybe you had sensed that as well.
Okay, but now the question, at the end I can say to you what I thought in that moment, but now we're thinking about this person, this guy, okay? Yeah. So do you agree that it's a bit, I mean, it's not impossible what you are saying, but it is a bit stretch, it's a bit improbable. Even in South Africa. Oh no, or you still remain your position?
It's only in the world of possibilities.
Okay, so it means that it's not probable.
Yes.
So it means is a bit overinterpretation, which is, it doesn't mean that it's not correct. An overinterpretation is not a misinterpretation. Let's say the misinterpretation is incorrect, or is too far away, is not speaking about the, is going against the text in a way. Your interpretation is not going against the text, but is just possible, it's not probable. So it's an overinterpretation. Do you agree with that?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Probably an overinterpretation. Yeah.
Okay, so your let's say that your imagination went a bit too far in this case.
Yes.
Which is funny, because you remember what you wrote before as a difficulty in your interpretation?
Not enough imagination. Yeah.
Exactly. But here you went on the other side. You just did what Yasmin did before. You went to the other opposite side, which is good, by the way. I think it's good. But if you're used to have like a limited imagination, I think it's good to try to go with like too much imagination, let's say. You remind me my trainer, my swimming trainer when I was a child. He was mad when he gave me some instruction in order to change my way to swim. And if I didn't change anything, he was so mad. It was like, I don't care if you made another mistake, but change something, maybe you can change too much. You can change by doing a new mistake. But the important thing is that you change something. Otherwise, you keep repeating the same mistake and you cannot go out from that mistake. So, you see, by doing a mistake, you went over another mistake. Okay.
Yes, I see.
Okay, nice. Okay, I propose we stop here with the interpretation problems. And now I propose we use the last 10-15 minutes in order to, let's say, share some comments about some idea you find interesting, some difficulties, something about the process, anything. So when you have an idea, just raise your hand and then you can share it. Okay, Gui.
Yeah, I like the idea of stretching yourself. Like you say with the swimming, you have to do some changes to improve. And like you mentioned earlier about habits, we get so stuck in our habits that we don't even notice what we do any longer. It's just a habit. So it's very good session today to just be in this state of trying to do something a little bit different.
Yeah, in a way, you need to have some courage in order to do something different, because the habit is a safe space in a way, a comfort zone. So in order to change, you need to take a risk. But if you sometimes it's not important what you do; it's important that you do something different.
Yeah,
and then you can learn something. By the way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So are you a bit stuck with habits as well, Gui?
Yeah, because I really am a person that is so focused on I have to have good habits.
Okay, nice.
But
okay.
then I'm seeing like maybe it's not so perfect. You also have to see that habits, can lead you to just always the same.
You know what is the best habit in thinking?
No.
Is the habit to change habits.
Okay.
So get used to change more. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And by the way, if you think thinking is a way to challenge yourself and challenge your beliefs and your habits, normal way to think. So in a way, the philosophy is a constant challenge in order to go beyond or to try some different thinking patterns.
Mm-hmm. And one question.
That's why many people, they don't like thinking, because they prefer the comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
I just let me add one more thing. I like when once Oscar said that the brain, it works a bit like the bum. I mean, they both want to be comfortable.
Oh,
but
yeah.
in order to think, you need to go out from that comfort zone. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
you wanted to say something, right? Yeah.
Yes, I wanted to add that that when you do some change, then you also have to know if there's anything good about it. Like you try something new, but sometimes you feel like, okay, maybe this is not a good idea, and then you say, okay, now, like I'm trying to figure out, like when I'm doing something that's good for me, what about the change is really good.
I propose you this idea that no all the mistakes are the same. So for example, if you keep repeating the same mistake, is one thing, but if you do a new mistake, there is different.
Oh yeah.
So not all the mistakes are the same.
Okay.
Yeah. So make new mistakes in your life, Gui. Okay. Thanks, Gui. Someone else?
Yes.
Yes.
I found the phrase that you said about when you are thinking, there is no time. I found it very interesting, and also I'm still thinking about it. Yes.
So if you are still thinking, it means that you are not having time now. You are not in the time.
But the time goes very fast also when you think. It's like time doesn't exist when you think.
By the way, it was an idea by Aristotle, that he thinks about God as the thinking of thinking. And he says that when we think, in a way, we enter in that eternity, in that of God.
That realm of God, yes.
Yes. So it's a bit that the idea, and you like it, right?
Yeah, very interesting. Yes.
Why do you like it?
Because we we do work like as gods.
Okay, you want to become God. It's a good reason, right?
No, not I don't want to become God, but it's like, yes, as you said, like in the realm of God, like you're doing the same stuff, and that's maybe the highest thing that humans can do.
yeah, in a way, the thinking, it could be interpreted as a part of the divine that is in the humans.
Yes,
So
because
that,
it makes also I think that makes us also different from other animals or other species that exist.
yeah, that was exactly the idea of by Aristotle, by the way. Yes. Okay. So enjoy your little eternity.
I will. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Someone else? Yasmin?
Yeah, I think it was interesting. I used to think that interpretation is easy, but it's not so easy. I see that it's a combination of a few competencies like understanding, then conceptualizing, augmentation.
Yes.
And for me, it was tough to stick to the text. And as you can see, when I try to stick to the text, I'm too much with the text.
Yes. Yeah.
So I have been in extremes. So I think with practice, I can try to have a balance.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Mhm. But the most difficult thing is in my country, it's very difficult to find people to think with, because I see people either they think they are already good thinkers, or they prefer to be in their comfort zone, just taking something which is ready-made, you know.
Okay, that's why you are here, by the way, because you didn't find any other thinking partner in your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. By the way, I agree with you. I think it is one of the most difficult competency in interpretation. Yes. Yes. Indeed.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Yasmin. And then I think we have Alex and Sven and Michaela, if she's still there. If you want to say something about some idea or some other session. Yes. No? No comments? Sven. Oh, okay, Alex. Yeah. Alex and then
Mine was a very brief one. It was the same as Eunice about the time stopping, and it's a useful idea. I'll draw on again. Yeah, I found it helpful.
Yeah. In a way, let me say that for example, when I do some thinking work like interpretation or like conceptualization or even just studying, if I have the rush, I'm in a rush, I cannot focus, I cannot thinking, I have problem to think. In a way, I need to enter in another dimension. And I need to, let's say, throw away all my fear, my desires. I have to be dead in a way. So in that moment, I can focus and I can do the job, the thinking job. So if I am worrying about time, about other things, for me at least, it's a bit impossible to think. So in a way, to think, you need to enter that no time dimension. Okay.
Good one.
Thank you. And Michaela, and then Sven, if something to say. Michaela?
One of the lessons that I take with myself today is that of trying new things, acquiring new habits, making new mistakes. And thank you for challenging me to overcome that habit of being prepared. Because there was the paradox when I said that I'm afraid or I do not want to waste other people's times by saying some nonsense. I was actually doing the very same thing at that time.
Yes.
Just hesitating, you know?
Just for fun, why do you think you need to prepare so much? Which is your fear, the biggest fear you have that push you to be prepared, to feel to be prepared?
To not say something stupid or that doesn't make sense. Because you say something and other people ask you, what do you mean? Or pose some question, and I don't know myself, so.
Okay, but that's thinking in a way.
Yeah.
You know already, you're not thinking. Thinking is to, in a way, confront yourself, confront yourself with something that you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So if you know already, you don't think. If I say to you, how much is 2 plus 2? You say 4, and you know, you don't think. You know already.
Mm-hmm.
But for example, I think I made this example already. But if I tell you, if I ask you, how much is 2 plus 2 in a base of 3 numbers, 0, 1, 2? Did you understand the question?
No. Some mathematical stuff that I don't know.
Okay, don't worry.
I'm bad at maths.
Okay, okay. The idea is, Michaela, that if you don't know something, that's the right moment when you can start thinking.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to be prepared, it means that you want already to know.
Yeah.
So it means you are avoiding thinking, because thinking is
Mm-hmm.
risky. Okay, you have to take a risk in order to think. One of the risks is to seem that you're stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So reconcile with stupidity and jump in the water of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, nice. By the way, I have the same fear in the teaching, and you know what I do in order to overcome that fear? I just say, I'm stupid. I say, okay, students, let's start from this presupposition. I'm stupid, and don't worry to be stupid. We can think even if we are stupid. So I take away some pressure from myself and from the students too. The atmosphere is more, let's say, easy, and we can think more. You see? So accept your stupidity. Okay, thanks, Michaela. And Sven, I think you are the last one, if you want to say something.
Yeah, I like that what happened in the dialogue with Michaela, that we just realized that there's no waste of time. You know, when we're thinking, it's all valuable time, even if there's mistakes. And I like the idea that if you just make a contribution, you are like feeding the fire of thinking for everybody. Whereas if you're too worried about not making a mistake or making a perfect thing, you're actually killing that thinking fire. So it's better to just contribute to the dialogue, keep the thinking going.
To engage in a way.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's a beautiful conclusion, Sven, for the session. So thanks, thanks for the conclusion, and thanks everybody. I guess we see you next time. I don't know when exactly, but I think we're gonna do something more together. So thanks. It was funny, and see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.